So UFC 321 just ended, very unceremoniously. I'm going to have a lot of thoughts on this pay-per-view, but let's just start off by saying that this is one of the worst pay-per-views I have seen. Honestly, ever, to be honest with you. I wasn't around when there were like a lot of other pay-per-views that were bad. I wasn't around for those, but I have seen a lot of pay-per-views. I've been watching since about 2020, 20 like I've been watching very religiously since like 2020, and I've seen a lot of pay per views, and this is one of the worst. And it's not even just how the title fight ended, but there were so many other fights. But let's just start off. I mean, let's start off with the first fight on the card. I'll discuss the Tom Aspinall fight at the end, but start off the first fight. We have Mizuki getting the decision over Jacqueline Amarim. Mizuki looked really improved in there. She showed a better performance. To be honest with you, I was counting out Mizuki. She was coming off a 2-year layoff. Her last win was Hannah Goldie. And Amarin was on a huge win streak, and she showed really good grappling. So I thought that she would be able to get the grappling advantage. When she got it to the ground, I think she was going to be doing good with the chokes. But Mizuki, not only did she show good takedown defense, but she showed very good submission defense. She was training with the Sarah Longo team, and those are guys who know how to grapple. So Mizuki showed a really good performance. She was piecing up Amarim. She was landing some really hard shots on her that I felt like she was close to finishing Amarim a couple of times, but it was a very dominant decision. I had a 30-27 Amarim. I mean, not Amarim, Mizuki. I felt like round one, Amarim was doing the best. That was her best performance, but then Mizuki was able to reverse and get some ground and pound at the end of round one. It was a very good start. It was a very good fight from Mizuki. And I think she's come back better. She has a lot of potential. I would love to beat a girl like Amarim is very impressive. So I love to see who she fights next. Next, we have Mitch Raposo getting the unanimous decision against Azat Maksum. I said that Mitch Raposo was not that good, and to be honest with you, he proved me wrong. I'm just gonna be simple as that. He proved me wrong. He was outboxing Maksum in a lot of exchanges. He was really doing well with the hooks in this. And although Maksum was able to have really good success with the grappling, he got 7 takedowns. He was shooting a lot of takedowns, but he got 7 takedowns on Mitch Raposo. Raposo got up pretty much instantaneously after each one of them. And I think the fence grab at the end did kind of sell it a bit. But to be honest with you, he was going to lose that fight anyways, and it was not a good look for Azam Maksum at all. He missed weight for this fight. He was 129 pounds. And it was nice to see Mitch Raposo still get the win, even though his opponent missed weight. And to get a win against Maksum is very impressive because he just had a very close fight with Tagir Ulanbekov. I think before I wasn't really high on him, but I think the reason why I wasn't high on him is because he was too inactive on the feet and he really didn't do much, and he did the opposite in this fight. So it was a really good change in performance. I really like this fight with Mitch Raposo. And to be honest, for a guy his size, he is actually pretty good at landing those combinations. And he has really good boxing, a really good understanding of striking, and he has good grappling as well. So I think he can go a bit more in this flyweight division. I'm really interested to see how he gets more. He is a young guy, so yeah. Next, we got Hamdi Abdelhab versus Chris Barnett. It was a decision. I predicted Hamdi by decision. I knew this was going to be a gritty fight, and it was going to be a pretty slow fight. But Chris Barnett looked really shit in there. Hamdi was just running through him. He landed an illegal blow, and I think did we take a point for that? Yeah, I think we did take a point for that. But it didn't matter anyways. Chris Barnett was losing bad, and to be honest with you, I think Chris Barnett is probably going to get cut. He just doesn't have it anymore. He just looked shit in every single fight. He had one good moment against Vellante years ago, but yeah, I think that's over. I think he's just older. He's just not. He clearly isn't as strong as he used to be, as fast as he used to be. So yeah, very good performance by Hamdi, but to be honest with you, Hamdi did slow down. Like the 2 rounds afterwards, after trying to chase the finish, but he was still beating Chris Barnett. So very good performance. To be honest, I didn't rate this fight that much, and the fact is, I thought it couldn't get worse, and it did. It got worse. Next, we have Nathaniel Wood getting the unanimous decision. Get this fuck out of here, bro. We got Nathaniel Wood getting $1 billion company, by the way. We got Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. Wood gets unanimous decision. I don't agree with this judging, and to be honest with you, um, I don't get it. Obviously, the strike numbers have changed. It was pretty different, but Delgado did outstrike Wood in rounds 1 and 3. It was just simple as that. And I don't know what the hell. I mean, they had Wood winning round 3, but I'm gonna be real with you. I felt like Delgado won this fight. I thought he was landing the better damage. He did get outstruck, but he did land the better shots. He had really good moments in round 1, and I thought he stole round 1. But Wood is a tough motherfucker. He is not going to get chinned that easily. I was kind of thinking Delgado would catch him with a knee up the middle, but he dropped him with a spinning back fist. But he did land some really good knees in the clinch, and those were getting to Wood. But Wood is a tough guy. He was really crafty. He was using the leg kicks very well, and it was preventing Delgado from advancing as much as he usually does in his fights, and I think that's what allowed it to be much more competitive. And he was able to get the takedown at the end of round 3, which stole him the round because it was pretty close. So, although I don't agree that Wood won that round, it was a very close fight, competitive. It could have gone either way. So, very good win for Wood. Honestly, he deserves a ranked opponent after this. Beating a guy like Delgado is very impressive. He deserves a ranked opponent left next, and I think a good fight with him would be against Giga Chikadze. I think he's number 13 or number 14, I forgot. But Giga Chikadze would be a very great fight for him, and it would be a good time to put him in the rankings, man. He's been looking good in a lot of his fights, and he's been on a mean streak, and to be honest with you, he's very talented, and I think he has the potential to break into the rankings. So, yeah, set up Jakadze versus Wood. Delgado, he is young, so he can come back. It was a very competitive fight. He fought a really big, experienced guy. So, yeah, nothing to shine home about, but yeah, next we got Volter Walker getting another easy heel hook against Louis Sutherland. This was coming a mile away. The moment he was getting he got the takedown, and you could just tell, like, when he was looking down, he looked at the foot, and he was like, yeah, I know an opening. And I'm like, I noticed that, and I'm thinking, yeah, he knows. He knows he got it. And he got it. Louis Sutherland did the right thing by rolling with it, but Volter Walker knows. He knows how to get the heel hook tight. He got it, and Sutherland just tapped immediately. I don't know what is with these heavyweights not knowing how to defend a simple heel hook, but when either Volter Walker is that good at getting heel hooks, or these heavyweights just don't know grappling. And I think it's really just the more heavyweights don't know grappling. He was ranked, right? He's ranked number 15. To be honest, he deserves like a guy like Spivak or Tibora, or I mean, like Spivak would be a really good fight. He deserves that. So Spivak versus Walker. If Walker wants to fight in Qatar, he didn't take that much damage in this fight. If he wants to fight in Qatar against Spivak, oh no, Spivak's fighting Gaziev. Shit, I forgot. So yeah, Walker, I think he should fight the loser of Delija versus Cortez Acosta. They are fighting next week, I believe. So, yeah. Next, we got Ludwig Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. Very good fight. I don't know. Did it get fight of the night? I think it did. But, yeah, Klein versus Rebecki. Very good fight. I knew this was going to be a war. I knew Rebecki was going to be tough, but I thought he was taking too much damage and that he wouldn't be able to take that any more damage. But he not only was taking a lot of punishment from Klein, he rebounded in the third round and was able to get a 10-8 and on Klein. I mean, one judge gave it a 10-8, but I had a 10-9. But I actually had this fight a draw. I gave Klein the first 2 rounds, and I gave Klein the first 2 rounds 10-9, and then I gave Rebecki a 10-8 on the third round. And to be honest with you, I mean, Klein was injured, so I get it why he was in a bad position. But yeah, Klein, he was able to win the first 2 rounds, and he got a majority decision. One judge had it a draw. One judge had it 28-27. So they gave 10-8s to both Klein and Rebecki, which is really bizarre. And there is a lot of bizarre scorecards here. So, and then 30-26. I mean, 30-26? No, it was like 29-28. Yeah, 29-28. So we didn't give any 10-8. So that's the judges have been up in this card, bro. They've been kind of tweaking a bit. But, yeah, very good win from Klein. Very impressive win. He was able to tough it out. His grappling does look a little shallow. Like, I mean, he was injured, though. So I kind of just think it was just that, He was injured. He couldn't get up, so. Next, we got Ikram Malascara versus Jun Young Park. This was a very gritty fight. It was very back and forth a bit. in a lot of moments. Junior Park has really good cardio, but I think that Ikram just locked in round 3. Round 2, Junior Park was doing really good, but Ikram was able to win round 3, get really good with the grappling, get started with it, and he was landing some good hits on Junior Park, but this was a very gritty fight. I'm going to be real. I don't have much to say about this. I don't think either of these two guys looked good. I feel like Junior Park was just tough, and Ikram looked really bad. His gas tank is really bad, and I feel like against an experienced guy like a Vittori or like any experience like Vittori or Cannonier or any of these guys, Ikram's just going to lose, and I don't really rate him that highly. People have been gassing him up, but to be honest with you, his last 2 wins were against before this, they were against Andre Muniz, who honestly is just not good, and Phil Hawes, who's chinny as fuck. And also, he had a 32% striking defense before the Whitaker fight, which is just insane. Next, this is Nasrat Haqparast versus Killen Saukil. Killen Saukil gets a huge head kick KO against Haqparast, just sleeps him. Holy hell, this was a brutal KO. Like, I picked Haqparast to win this fight. I thought defensively he was really good. He had a really good high guard. I don't think Killen Saukil was going to be able to take him down. I thought this was going to be a gritty 30-27 decision for Haqparast. And Haqparast was winning. He was really doing well with the body jabs. He was doing really well defending the grappling, but he just got caught with a huge head kick. And man, holy shit, this was fucking brutal. Like, bro, this was a brutal fucking KO, bro. And I mean, he just was just unconscious for minutes, bro. And it was, Killen Saukil just proved on short notice, too. This was on short notice for both these guys, but Killen Saukil proved he was real deal. He can hit hard, he can wrestle, he has really good striking. And to be honest with you, he deserves a ranked opponent. Nasrat Haqparast was literally close to getting a ranked opponent. He deserves a ranked opponent next, man. Just give him Chandler or something, Maybe I just want Chandler to lose again, like brutally. But you know what? Chandler versus Saukil, I wouldn't mind that fight. He didn't take that much damage too, so it could happen soon. So yeah, but really brutal KO, and man, Nasrat was just like he was scaring me a bit, man. He was just he was unconscious for a while, but he's back, he's good. Nothing happened, so yeah. Next, Murzakanov gets a round 1 KO against Rakic. He lands a huge jab on Rakic as they were about to enter in, and Rakic just gets chinned. He just gets sent flying, and he just could not. He was done. Rakic was, I wouldn't even say Rakic was doing good, but Rakic did puzzle me in this fight because he was doing well with the head kick. He landed a huge head kick on Murzakanov, and I felt like if he kept doing that, if he kept using the leg kicks and the head kicks, he would be able to make Murzakanov not be able to land that right hand. But he started wrestling with him, started shooting a takedown. He shot a single leg, and yeah, and it was really bizarre fight IQ from Rakic, and damn, he just got chinned like that. Rakic did not look good in this fight, and I was beefing up Rakic. I felt like Rakic would be the one to beat Murzakanov, but you know what? Murzakanov proved he was really one of the best right now in the light heavyweight division. He has huge power. His boxing is really crisp and clean, and he's a tough motherfucker. And I think he possesses a power that not a lot of people in light heavyweight have. I think he has better power than Khalil Hill, Ankalaev, Jan. I feel like he has better power than all these guys. And I think he just has to. I think he can go. I think when he was calling for number 1 contender fight, I think him versus Ankalaev is the fight to make. It just is. I don't know if they train together, if they're both from Dagestan. I don't know if they train together, but he was saying number 1 contender fight, and it just so happens that Ankalaev and Yuri are number 1 contenders, but Yuri is next for the title shot, so I'm thinking Ankalaev. And you know what? I'd love to see that fight. Ankalaev versus Murzakanov, both Dagestani strikers. That would be a really entertaining fight, and I think Ankalaev could be a huge challenge, but you know what? I might pick Murzakanov to KO him. I really do think he'll KO him. He does have some defensive flaws, and Pereira did prove that. And Murzakanov I think he's a tricky striker. He has that power threat, and I felt like Rakic and all these other guys have known like this guy can spark him out. So they've been kind of fighting, kind of super defensively, kind of just trying to make sure he doesn't land that right hand. And when he does spark people out. So, man, Murzakanov, he just proved he's the real deal. He's the number 7 ranked contender on Tuesday. And you know what? Ankalaev versus Murzakanov, book it. Maybe if this is Saudi Arabia fight night, they should make that the main event. Honestly, that'd be a really good fight. Next, we got Alexander Volkov getting the split decision win against Jailton Almeida. I picked Jailton Almeida by decision. I thought he was going to go get a lot of takedowns in this fight, and he did. Volkov was not able to defend almost any of the takedowns. He didn't show the best takedown defense and the best fight IQ. He tried to go for a knee, he gets taken down. He tries to go for all these type of moves, and he's kind of defending the takedown, but he just could not do much defending him. He was able to got some damage off, and this was a very close fight. Jailton Almeida, we need to have a conversation on what the fuck this guy is doing, because in one fight, he seems like he does good when he gets on the ground and he's landing ground upon. Like we saw in the Spivak fight, he was doing really well on top control, and then against Volkov, he just wasn't doing anything. He was just fine just sitting there and just laying on him. He wasn't trying to chase for submissions or anything, and I think he recognized that Volkov could definitely scramble his way out if he tried to attempt submission, so he thought he could just hold him down for 3 rounds, but these judges were thinking right. They were thinking right. It was just simple as that. They were choosing damage and activity over takedowns and control, and that is what you should be doing. So, Volkov, he was able to win this fight, and you know what? I agree with this decision. I had Volkov 2-1. I'm going to be honest with you. I had a 2-1. And even though I picked Almeida by decision, or no, I picked him by submission, but I was considering a decision as well if he wasn't going to do anything, and he didn't do anything. This is not a good look for Almeida. To be honest with you, I don't know what is his problem, but I think he just doesn't want to strike. He doesn't want to actually fight. He's striking, and he needs to go straight for the takedown, and he just would rather just sit around and just grapple and just get cop control, and he just can't do that. Especially like the UFC's been trying to, I don't know, it's just not a good look for Almeida. He needs to come back into the drawing board, get a couple more wins, maybe fight some upcoming contenders. But man, this is a horrible way to show everyone that you're a dangerous contender, because so far Volkov is the next guy for the title, sort of, but we'll go into that later. Anyways, I don't have much to say about this fight. Congratulations to Volkov. He deserved this win. He did win against Gane, and man, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This fight had me thinking, okay, the other 3 fights are gonna be better. And it does not get better. It doesn't get fucking better. I spent money on this pay-per-view. I watched this. There's a reason why I didn't do a watch-along. I literally watched this with my friends, and fuck. I'm already so fucking depressed because this is one of the worst pay-per-views, and I spent money on this. I was hyping this up. I was so excited. It was such a stacked card, too. Oh, man. My eyes fucking hurt, bro. But, anyways, let's trudge on. Next, we got Umar Nurmagomedov getting the dominant decision win against Mario Bautista. But Umar Nurmagomedov showed levels in the wrestling and grappling, and I knew he would. I thought this was an even matchup, and I thought Mario Bautista would give a tough fight, and you know what? He did. He gave a competitive fight. I had it like a 30-27, 29-28, very competitive, but kind of dominant decision for Umar. And I'm going to be real. Mario Bautista dropping Umar is definitely very impressive. And he showed really good pace. He had really good cardio as well. Umar was the one gassing against Mario Bautista. Umar was tired as fuck going into the 3rd round. And Mario Bautista looked like he was just kind of... He was feeling the heat, but he was still scrambling really good, especially in the 3rd round. And he showed a really good cardio, really good gas tank. He was prepared, very prepared for this fight. He knew he was going to get grappled. And Umar, he was able to land a lot of takedowns. But Mario Bautista, for most of them, he was able to stand up right afterwards. But there were moments where Umar was doing really well, getting the crucifix and also doing that. And then even Mario Bautista had a moment in round 1 with the toe hold. I didn't think he was going to tap to that, but it was a pretty good toe hold, and it definitely showed because Umar's ankle was fucked, And all the Umar fans are going to be like, yeah, even with the ankle, he still trudged on to a nice decision win. Oh, he's so dominant. He beats Marab in the rematch. Well, I was saying that Umar needs to show levels in this fight if he wants to convince me he can beat Umar. He just showed me one simple flaw that I think Murab is just going to destroy him. The gas tank. The gas tank's not good. When he's wrestling, when he wasn't even striking that much in this fight. He was wrestling a lot because I think after he got dropped in the second round, he kind of knew he had to wrestle. And he was doing really well in the first round. And here's the thing. If you want to beat Murab, you're going to have to do everything better than him. Because if you try to strike with him, he is going to make it hard for you to strike with him. And if you try to grapple with him, you're fighting a guy who can grapple as well. And you're going to have to do that for 4 rounds straight. And Umar just showed that even after 2 rounds of wrestling heavily, like he was kind of just doing what Murab has been doing. And he did that, he just gassed immediately. And this was a 3-round fight. Imagine if this was a 5-round fight. Now, I thought Umar would have won a 5-round fight anyways. But it just showed, here's the thing. I think Mauro Batista's stock rose in, a lot in this fight. Because he just showed he can hang with some of the best guys. Yes, he did lose dominantly. But he was giving him a good fight. And although I don't think it was a close fight at all. It was a very dominant performance by Umar. It was not an impressive one. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think he beats Murab in the rematch. I never did. A lot of people were saying Umar beats him in the rematch. The fight was close. With the worst version of Murab, where he was injured, he had an infection, a cut leg, and a back injury, and all these kinds of things, Umar still couldn't outpace him for 5 rounds. And now with Murab constantly improving, he's looked better every single fight. And you know what? He's going to look even better in the Peter Yan fight. And he's gonna be even more dominant. And you know what? I just don't see Umar beating him. If he wants to wrestle Murab, he's going to fail. He can't do that. 2 rounds, he may have some success. But I think if he's just going to be gassed like this, and Murab is going to be pushing the pace. And you know what? Murab is harder to take down than Bautista. Bautista's takedown defense didn't look that good in this fight. And Murab's takedown defense is pretty good. So I just don't think that Umar is going to beat Murab. Murab has already made his reads. He's already figured out Umar's style. He's going to come in there like in the Sean O'Malley rematch. And I think we're going to see this in the Peter Yan rematch. He's going to know their weaknesses and their strengths and what they do and their tendencies. He's going to know. Umar didn't really show that much change in his fight. To be honest, he just did what he usually does. And it just kind of looked concerning because his gas tank looked even worse. He was breathing heavily. And he was just doing all these things, and there's always going to be excuses. They're going to be like, oh, he had a broken ankle, all that stuff. And his hand was broken. His hand was broken. My idol didn't win a fight against Murab. Fucking crying little bitches, You know what? Fuck this. Fuck these Umar fans who think he's going to beat him in the rematch. Murab is just better. He is better in every single aspect. He was out striking and out wrestling Umar. I'm tired of these motherfuckers saying that Dagestanis are the best wrestlers on the planet when literally when there are literally no Dagestani champions, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Dagestan has always been overrated in terms of their fight. They only ever had 3 champions, and 2 of them, one of them is retired, one of them's not even champion, one of them got sparked in his last fight. I'm tired of this shit, and you know what? He didn't impress me in this fight. I was looking for a dominant Umar performance, and it was dominant, but it wasn't impressive. I was thinking Umar was going to show levels in this fight, and it was going to be competitive, but it was going to show that Umar is still way better. And you know what it showed me? It just showed me that he doesn't have a good chin, and he doesn't have good cardio. And that's what you need against Murab, bro. Murab is almost KOing motherfuckers now. He almost KO'd Corey. He was beating the shit out of Peter Yan, and he was also landing combinations on Sean O'Malley, who has one of the best who has really good striking. And you know what? It's just showed me if Umar doesn't show a better fight, and you know what? He shouldn't get a title shot with this fight. I think the next title shot should go to the win. I think it should go to Pantoja if he beats Joshua Van. I would love to see Murab versus Pantoja. I don't need to see an Umar rematch. Murab versus Pantoja is the better fight to make. It is the super fight. It is the fight that's going to make a lot more money. That's just the truth. And it's a champ versus champ fight. Mauro Batista, on the other hand, he's very good. I like him. I didn't really hate on him that much after the Patchy Mix fight. Before, I was kind of like, I don't like him. He kind of robbed Jose Aldo. But Patchy Mix, he showed really good. He showed a really good performance, and he showed a competitive fight. He was not making it easy. Umar was winning, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Mario was beating up Umar, but he dropped Umar. He was able to get a submission on him. He showed that he can go, he can hang. He can hang. He's not going to get steamrolled by these guys, you know? And he has a really good gas tank too. Like he wasn't lying. His cardio is really good. Because if he's getting Umar gassed like that, damn. And Umar has good cardio. I'm not gonna say that, but he doesn't have good enough cardio to beat Merab. And I don't think anybody does. So I don't blame him for that. But yeah, very good. It was a very good performance from Umar. But I'm going to be real, he does need one more if he wants to get a title shot. Considering that Peter Yan is fighting for the title. And you know what? If Pantoja wins, they're probably going to make Merab versus Pantoja. So, yeah. Umar needs one more. And you know what? A good opponent, I think it would be Umar versus Ayman Zahabi. Zahabi's coming up, you know. And why not get Umar these more ranked wins? Why not? He's only had 2 ranked wins against Corey Sanhagen and Mara Bautista. He hasn't beat anyone ranked. You know, unlike Merab, who has tons of ranked wins. Peter Yan, tons of ranked wins. Corey has a lot of ranked wins as well. And even Sean O'Malley has just as much ranked wins as Umar Nurmagomedov. And I know I'm saying ranked wins like a fucking toddler. Ranked wins. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me today. But, yeah. I think I'm just pissed off about this card. And believe me, I will show how pissed off I am in just about a few minutes. But, you know, good fight. Bautista impressed me. Nurmagomedov looked good. Just not a title eliminator. That's all I'm going to say. Next, we got Reno Jandiroba versus Jandiroba. What am I saying, bro? I think I'm fucking tweaking. Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern is now the new strawweight champion. And you know what? I slept on her striking. I thought Vino Jandiroba was going... And here's the thing about this fight. This fight was a lot closer than people had it seem. I thought this was going to be a split decision. And to be honest, this was an even matchup. They're both They're both decent strikers with decent hands, and they're both good grapplers. But one thing I've saw in the disparities is that Jandiroba was just way slower than Dern on the feet, but Dern didn't have good takedown defense, and Jandiroba was able to get a lot with the takedowns. And you know what? One thing I don't like about Jandiroba, she does not do enough with her top control, and this is something we've seen with Jelton Almeida already. When they're on top position, they don't do anything but just sit there, kind of hoping for a sub or hoping for the mount. They're not landing damage. And you know what? Mackenzie Dern had the right game plan. Whenever she was on bottom, she was landing elbows up from top. Same with Klein. Klein was on bottom, and he landed a really brutal elbow on Rebecki. And you know what? It's kind of starting to see a narrative shift where now we're seeing fighters okay being on bottom because they could just land damage on top. And it's now kind of made sense now that wrestlers need to start doing more with their takedowns. This is not jiu-jitsu. And I think this is the problem with Jandiroba. Jandiroba just could not do enough of the takedowns, and she was losing rounds because of that. I had it 3-2 Dern. 4-1 Dern is insane. It was way closer. It was a very close fight, and it could have gone either way. I think round 4 and round 3 definitely could have gone either way. It was a close fight. It should have been a split decision, and it kind of just makes me think they wanted Dern to be champion, and I definitely get that. She's hot. She's sexy. She has some good hands. She's a lot more sellable than Jandiroba, and it's kind of sucks. Jandiroba's pretty good, and she's done what she's done to become the number 1 contender. But, you know, I don't like the future of the strawweight division, and to be honest with you, I need to see how Weili does against Shevchenko. If Weili loses, she could just come back down and beat these girls. Weili showed just how much level she has above this division, and damn, it's just like Weili left, and now you got these people fighting for the title. I mean, Dern getting a title shot was already preposterous enough because literally a year ago she was on a huge losing streak, and Jandiroba, number 1 contender, but just couldn't beat Dern. Not a good look for this division, and I'm gonna be real with you. I don't care whoever. I just did not care who won. I just don't like. I miss Weili, man. Weili, if you lose, come back down. Get your title back. Be the strawweight GOAT. I mean, she already is, but break the record of title defenses, man. Yeah, but Whaley owns this division, and I'm gonna be real. This fight was, I mean, the fight was kind of scrappy. There were some good moments, but it was. I mean, I have to use that term loosely. Scrappy. The fight was good. I just have to use those loosely. There were so many frustrating moments, especially from Jandaroba. Jandaroba could have done more. She could have won this fight, but she just didn't do enough. Mackenzie Dern and the new champion for strawweight. Very, very huge rise. I mean, going from beating Amanda Hebos to becoming a champion. Very good. I think this was a better matchup for her than Lemos and Andrade, So, yeah. Close fight. I don't think it could have gone either way. I thought it was pretty clear that Dern won it, but it was very close and competitive. And I think Dern is probably going to fight Tatiana Suarez next. And for Jandaroba, who else? Jandaroba already beat Luby Godinez. I'd love to see Jandaroba versus Jillian Robertson. I think Robertson is fighting. She might be booked. But, yeah, Jandaroba versus Robertson would be a really good fight. Anyways, let's go on to the main event. Now, there has been some narratives on Twitter that people are running with, and they're saying that Jon Jones would have beat Tom Aspinall. He gave up. He didn't want to fight. Gane was destroying Aspinall. I'm going to be honest with you. Aspinall was winning that fight, regardless of what you think. He was landing the better shots, and yes, Gane was able to get Tom's nose bleeding a bit, but he landed a few jabs and a few oblique kicks. Tom was landing hard rights. He was doing really well pushing the pace in this fight, and I'm going to be real, he landed the damaging shots. But Ciryl Gane, in true French fashion, for French MMA, they have to always do this. He eye pokes. And this is something not only Gane does, but Imavov does as well. They hold their hand out. Whenever Tom is about to enter in, they hold their hand out like Jon Jones and into their face. And man, this eye poke was so brutal. And you know what? I used to hate on Bilal, right? And I used to kind of criticize him for doing that much after an eye poke against Leon Edwards. I am a huge Leon Edwards fan. And I hated on Bilal for that. I forgive him. And I don't need to forgive him because I totally get it. That eye poke was huge. It was brutal. It went into his eye. People are kind of just booing Tom. They were booing Tom in the crowd, and they shouldn't. There should be no hate towards Tom. He got brutally eye poked so bad he couldn't open his eye. People say like, oh, the eye he was covering and he couldn't open wasn't the one that he put his whole finger in. But you can see in the video that he scratched his cornea. And when you scratch your cornea, you just cannot see. Like, your vision is just completely watery. And it's like, you can't see. And it's like, he's in the hospital right now. I hope Tom Aspinall gets better. And you know what? I hope this fight gets rebooked very soon. I would love to see this on the December card. If it can't, then January's card seems fine. But it shouldn't take this much time. I want Tom Aspinall. If he heals from this eye injury, they don't cut weight or anything. I think they can get this fight in November, honestly. It depends on how long the eye injury takes place. It'll probably take like a month or two, so December or January seems like a very good option. And you know what? Ciryl Gane, he fucking sucks. He cheats and I'm going to be honest with you. People don't give enough shit to Gane. Gane is a dirty cheater. And you know what? I'm going to put that on my thumbnail. I'm going to say a dirty cheater. He does this in every single fucking fight. He eye pokes. He throws shots to the back of the head. He does all these illegal moves. He does a fucking cup kick against Jon Jones. And you know what? People are saying Jon Jones would have beat him. Jon Jones would have beat him. Oh, Jon destroyed Gane. It's like, this is a better version of Gane. The Gane that was fighting Jon Jones was horrible. This is a better version. And you know what? If this fight gets rebooked, and this is a fight where Tom Aspinall literally was forced to sit 1.5 years off. Like, he was supposed to fight, but he just sat for 1.5 years because they didn't let him fight anybody else except Jon Jones, and Jon Jones was a pussy who ran away. And I'm tired of these Jon Jones fans. If you are a Jon Jones fan and you're shitting on Tom Aspinall, unsubscribe from my channel. Fuck you. But yeah, Ciryl Gane, he did not do good at all. And you know what? It's kind of sad too because I was really looking forward to this fight. This was a really huge fight. It was supposed to be really well. It was supposed to change the heavyweight division. We could have seen Tom Aspinall get a good title defense. But God had to cheat. I'm just going to be honest with you. That shit was intentional. I don't care if it was unintentional. The ref ruled it unintentional. You do not just hold your hand out, fingers wide open, into someone's face when they're entering in. You close your fist. You close your fist, okay? And it's just something they get away with. They fucking get away. This should have been a DQ win for Tom Aspinall. There was a blatant eye poke, and you know what? Ciryl Gane is a dirty cheater. And as much as I don't want Gane to get another title shot, there is really nobody else. Aspinall already beat Volkov, so they're going to rebook this fight. And Dana's probably pissed, and he's justifiably. I'm pissed too. But why is it Tom's fault? Why are people shitting on Tom? And you know why? It's because they're on their hands and knees worshiping Jon Jones, and and you know what? Ciryl Gane has no fans except French people. It's just a bunch of Tom Aspinall haters, and you know what? It's going to be miserable seeing a bunch of Tom Aspinall hate. It's going to be miserable seeing Jon Jones tweet from his fucking keyboard while being 40 years old and still being a bitch. You know, like, ugh, then you guys said I was ducking him. You know, like, fuck that guy, bro. Fuck Jon Jones. And fuck these guys who are shitting on Tom Aspinall. These guys love dick at the end of the day. They're fucking dumbasses, bro. So, anyways, I'm just pissed off about this fight. But, I mean, this fight's got to be rebooked. December would be a good time. December or January. Something soon, because, honestly, I don't want to wait for this fight. And if he fights in December or January, he could still very well fight on the White House card against Pereira or Jones. But people are saying Pereira versus Jones should be made now for the heavyweight division. It's going to save heavyweight. Such a nothing fight. They're not stripping him of the title. They want him to be stripped of the title. Ooh, he's a quitter. He gave up. It's the same shit that happened to Bilal. And I was doing this. I was hating on Bilal for that. And people were hating on him for so long because of that. And I get it. I'm a Bilal fan now. I've made a whole complete 180. I'm a Bilal fan. I like Bilal. He's from Chicago. He's a hard worker. He's a good fighter. And you know what? He's a good coach. And he has a good mind on the sport. And you know what? He was right. Tom Aspinall should not get any hate for this, but people will hate. UFC fans are complete bimbos. They're dumbasses. They have no IQ. They're just reactionaries. They just rage bait for no reason. And you know what? It's miserable being a UFC fan because this is the people I'm associated with. But if you're a real fan, if you know what really happened, if you're not throwing hate on Tom Aspinall or glazing Jon Jones like a bitch, you're welcome in this channel. You're welcome in this community. I open my mind to people who actually do care about the sport and aren't just like weirdos, you know? So, yes, this fight should get rebooked. Very, very horrible pay-per-view. And no, to none of these guys' fault. No, this is not Tom Aspinall's it is Ciryl Gane's fault. Don't get me wrong. He's a fucking dirty cheater. Tom Aspinall should not get any hate for this. And I can't wait for the rematch. It's funny, bro. Like, Aspinall is getting bad luck. He gets injured. He gets injured against Curtis Blades. Gets the rematch years later, and then now after years of hype, he gets eye poked brutally. No contest against Gane. This is getting a rematch. This is the second time he had to rematch someone. People are gonna call him a quitter. He's not a quitter. And I'm gonna be real. Jon Jones is a bitch. So, yeah, horrible pay-per-view. Hopefully this fight gets rebooked. Dana White did say it's going to get rebooked, so that's good. I don't think Volkov deserves the title shot either. It's kind of a sad state for heavyweight right now. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.